Well, hello there. I'm Anthony. And if you guys don't know me, I'm the guy that was in that video, and I made that thing that was right there that you guys can't see anymore, and I dropped that box earlier. So, thinking back on it, instead of rehearsing this performance, I should have just been like practicing picking up that box. Like I should have just like downloaded like the soundtrack to Rocky and just like went to town on that box. That is what I'm gonna regret. For Artist 360, I also made an animation, which is like based on my perspective of what it's like being Cambodian American. Because it's my perspective is like the only one that matters. But at first I kind of want to like contextualize a little bit, like tell you a little bit about myself, just like to like, yeah. So my parents are great. They immigrated here as refugees from the Khmer Rouge genocide. Yeah, it's like it's heavy. So, it's not a joke. It's heavy. But they're very protective. My dad's very protective. It's like too protective sometimes. To this day, he won't let me do like very reasonable things. Like the other day, I was like, "Hey Dad, can I go to the movie theaters? The sun is up. It's safe." And he was like, "No, you can't." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because you might get raped." And while I think it's very flattering that he thinks that someone would look at me and be like, "I would risk my freedom for one night with that body," I really do not think I have that kind of appeal. Yeah, so he's like so protective of me because he has a very skewed perception of me as a person in general. Like once he barges into my room and was like, "Let's go on a run," and I was like, "I can't, my knee hurts." And he's like, "Why does your knee hurt?" And I was like, "Because I fell out of a chair yesterday." And he just like storms out of my room and slams my door and says, "You always fall out of chairs." And always is a really strong word. So based off my dad's diction, I have to assume that in my dad's worldview, it goes, the sun always rises in the east, and Anthony always falls out of chairs. But you know, like, there are things that my dad lived through that I'll never experience. You know, like, things about him I'll never be able to comprehend. You know, for example, he wasn't at my birth, which I don't understand because he drove my mom to the hospital and was there. You know, so but like, he was there, and then at one point he decided to go home to take a shower, and then I was born. And the only reason I could think of in my head for why this would happen was that he was looking at my mom, and she's like all in a muck and kind of like, she's not looking her best because she's giving her birth to me. And he thought to himself, well, one of us has to look good right now. What? Exactly. That's what I was thinking. But my mom, she's an adorable, like 90-pound, like woman. You know, like anybody that's 90 pounds is adorable, unless you're a drug addict. But that really just depends on your like type of person. But yeah, she does like this adorable thing where she'll like casually tell you things about tell me things about my childhood that I never knew about. Like we were having a very like casual conversation, you know, keeping it cash. And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's like that one time that your half brother broke your arm," and I was like, "Oh my god, I have a half brother." He's okay. Yeah, but like, you know, like my parents are great, I love them. I still have my problems, so, you know, like kind of deranged, like you know how it is. Yeah, but my freshman year of college, my parents felt the need to throw me an intervention. So they like gathered all my friends and family. They sat me down. My mom was just like, "Anthony, we're worried about you. We found 3 beers in your room, and frankly, we do not want to be the parents to an alcoholic." And the only thing that I thought in my head was, way to make this about you, Mom. Like, I thought this was like my problem for my intervention, not your addiction to attention. I drank 3 beers and was tipsy for 20 minutes. I'm a motherfucking alcoholic. But you know, like, it kind of worked because I don't drink anymore. Because I kind of started feeling bad because I didn't want to disappoint my parents because they've had such hard lives. And they give me money. So now I just stick to cocaine. Which I buy with all my parents' money. You know, like on top of everything else, I had a breakup with my therapist. She just wasn't helping me anymore. Like we'd be sitting in her like therapy lounge or like therapy bedroom, I don't know, whatever they're called, I'm sitting on those fancy chairs. And she was just like, take a deep breath. That's literally all she would try to do, is like, take a deep breath. And I would be like, I can't have asthma, it just hurts. So it just always hurts. But in all seriousness, like the plight of my people, I take very seriously. And if like what I'm saying right now doesn't underline some kind of truth for you, I hope my animation does, so enjoy.
I feel like it's kind of hard growing up Cambodian American. I think it's because we have no role models in the media to look up to. And we probably really need those role models because there really is a lot of bad stuff that happened in the past that can seriously fuck up generation after generation after generation. If you look at the media now, other races have great role models. I mean, look at Barack Obama. Cambodian people, we only have Angelina Jolie's Cambodian adopted son, Maddox Jolie Pitt. And the sad thing is that sometimes he really is my role model because I am still waiting for a white rich person to adopt me.